Hello, Miss Blakely. This is my independent reading project. My book is The Catcher in the Rye. The author is J.D. Salinger. This is my book. And this is the more information about this book. It published by July 16, 1951. And then the writing styles. The Catcher in the Rye is writing in a subjective style, from point of view of its protagonist, Holden, following his exact through process. There is flaw in the seemingly disjointed idea and exposits, for example, as Holden sits in the chair in his dorm, mirrors events such as picking up a book or looking at a table, and fall into discussions about an experience. So this style is subjective style from the point of view. And then for the author introduction. The author's full name is Jerome David Salinger. He's born from 1990 to 2010. And he's an American author and grew up in the New Hampshire and later attended 3 colleges, but got no degree. Best known for him is 1951 novel The Catcher in the Rye, as well as his reclusive nature. Nice story. Franny and Zoe's raised high in the rough beam, carpenters, and then seminary. An introduction. And then he said his best quote that he likes most in his life is, "I would just be the catcher in the rye and all. I know it's crazy, but it's the only things I would really like to be. I know it's crazy." So why he liked this sentence so much, I will explain in later. That's the controversy of the book. In 1960, a teacher first teach this book in the class to do the segment, and he got fired from school because in that society they don't allow the teachers teaching these novels in the class. And then so this book was banned in a long time, and then a lot of high schools they abandoned, and then library they don't allow has this book. And also in 1981 it was both the most controversial book and the second most taught book in the public school in the United States. But in 2009 this book was successful in the US, and then a lot of school teach this, and then people like this book so much, and yeah, this until now people still love this book. So for the cultural influence, this book really changed America a lot, and then he has a lasting influence as the remains both a best sellers and frequently challenged book. So this book is very popular, and then the contents influence a lot of teenagers and then give them a lot of ideas. But some of them are good, and but some of them are really bad. So a lot of people died because of they learned from this book. So learn, be carefully from this book. Learn good things. Don't learn bad things. So that's the explanation of the sentence that um, Holden's dream. Anyways, I keep picturing all these little kids playing some game in this big field of Ray and Al. Thousands of little kids, and nobody around, nobody big, I mean, except me, and I'm standing on the edge of some crazy cliff. What I have to do, I have to catch everybody. If they start to go over the cliff, means if they are running and then they don't look where they are going, I have to come out from somewhere and catch them. That's all I would do all day. I would just catch in the dry and all. I know it's crazy, but what I only things I do really like to be to protect kids from the spoiling by earthless and hypocrisy, to save kids who lost their direction. So that's his dream in whole life, and he trying to help people to find their right directions and to help them get accept from the bad mood and then go to the right way. So now let's get in the book. Mm, by reading this book, this is my favorite sentence for this book, I think. Remember what should be remembered, and forget what should be forgotten. Alter what is challengeable and accept what is mutable. So I like this sentence so much, and because this is telling me what I'm struggling with, and this is when I saw this sentence first, and I was really like surprised. This sentence solved me a big problem in my mind. But now I feel this sentence gonna be my motto for a while. I like this so much. So for the story, that's the some picture I found from online about this book, and now let's introduce you guys the book. So the Catcher in the Rye gave us a portrait of the 17 years old American boy Holden, and he borrowed from a rich family in the American during that period. And then Holden has just been kicked out from the school, and then he has a field day to kill before he return home. So if he gets home, his father will like almost kill him. So and then he went to the New York City, and in there he spent his time wandering aimlessly from one brief encounter to another, getting progressively more disgraced with what he calls the furnaces of the adult world. So he went to the New York alone, and then he went to the fort because after he get expelled from school because he so afraid to go home. So he lived in a small hotel, and then he saw a lot of crime and corrupt a lot hidden parts of person's nature. Look these pictures. Some like people they're look very gentle, very formal in front of people, but in the backside, who knows? And he stayed in New York one day and 2 nights, but he didn't sleep a lot. And then in the book said he just drink and smoke, fight in the bar with people, and also spending a lot of time in the theater. And you know he just couldn't tolerate the loneliness, and so he found a prostitute. Remember, he's only 16 years old, so and but after all, he feels so bad and depressed. In his mind, is like so depressed. So he attempts to run away from this adult world. He want to find the truth and then purity world, like no crime, no corrupt. So he just keeping struggling with those stuff he is wondering. But because of those struggling in the mind, he got the mentalness, like illness in the. So he had been sent to the Badland for a while. But when he gets out, he started like realize the world cannot be what he think the world gonna be. So he said this sentence: if you had 1,000,000 years to do it in, you could rob out even half the being sign in the world is the impossible. I know this sentence has bad wording, but I have to show this, because this sentence is when he gets out and he said the sentence. It's really important that he has been changed. He know he cannot change the world, but he can change himself, and then he can change himself to help people. And that's the basic story, you know. And a lot things you have to read by yourself, and then this book is really good. I think this book has a lot of stuff needed us to study and then learn from it. I hope you guys could read this book as me as well, and then I promise you can learn a lot from it. Even this book has a lot of bad things, bad languages, but just learn, be carefully, and then trust me, there is a lot graceful, classical, and then beautiful phrase in the inside of the book, and you will love it. And then I'm highly recommend this book to you all. So now let's enjoy some beautiful and intelligent phrase in the book. This is the first sentence that I showed up in the beginning. What really knocked me out is the book that when you are all done reading it, you wish the author that wrote it was a terrible friend yours and could call him up and find whatever you feel like it. That doesn't happen much though. Don't ever tell anybody anything. If you do, you'll start missing everybody. This sentence helps a lot. I was trying to feel some kind of goodbye. I left school and the places I didn't even know I was learning them. I hate that. I don't care if it's a sad goodbye or bad goodbye, but when I leave a place like I like to know I'm leaving it. If you don't, you feel even worse. Okay, that's all. Again, thank you for your watching. That's my independent reading project. Thank you.